Hi, everyone. I'm Keila, founder of Misfit Media and artist, and I'm here today with,
Maddie from Matties.Graphics.
and Maddie is a photographer, and I'm super excited for this interview today.
Me too.
So, let me start off with how did you end up with your creative style? Like, what worked for you? What didn't?
Um, I started out in high school and I really like studio portraiture, the perfecting it all. But it's also really time consuming and does get there are a lot of like nitpicky type of things with that one when that comes to that.
Mhm.
And as much as I love doing that, I also love the free and I like the unscripted type of sessions where you're kind of just going into one with an idea,
Mhm.
nothing exactly in mind, but I like an idea instead of having a final project in mind.
Yeah.
'Cause when you have a final project in mind, you work on everything to its perfection and you kind of get overstimulated or just overwhelmed with all of it. So
Yeah,
to
I
have
understand.
something
Yeah.
is much less complicated and I feel that I have a lot of better interactions when it comes to that.
I see, that makes sense. I totally
Yes.
get that because, like, if you're focused on, like, it looking a certain way, exactly what you have in mind, then you're like you sometimes you can't always live up to those standards, right, that you set for yourself,
Exactly.
so that's
Exactly.
great. I love that. So that brings me into the next question. What is your favorite project you've ever worked on and why?
I don't think I have a favorite project. I think they all resonate within their own work.
Mhm,
Being able to photograph like moments or milestones.
mhm,
Um, I guess these past 2 weddings that I've worked on were pretty cool, but as far as,
mhm,
like, the project that I put together piece by piece, um, I've done a lot of, like, self-portraiture to kind of lean on myself more as a model.
mhm. I could tell that you really, like, emphasize on, like, who that model is and, like, what they wanna tell too, and I love that.
Yeah, I like
Um,
to focus on the model more than, um, you know the idea is in
yeah,
mind, but we wanna focus on the model and making sure that they're okay, that they are obviously consenting to whatever is happening and that they're comfortable and that they are getting the vision that they want.
of course, I love that. I bet your models feel so safe. I love
I've,
that.
I've heard after the fact, my models telling me that they felt safe with me more than someone else or
Mhm,
just safe with me in general. I usually will bring my partner as well as a
mhm,
second hand, if you will.
yeah,
And she really helps me kind of coordinate not only the posing, but the interactions that we have with people, meeting up with someone one on one, kind of intimidating. You don't want to
yeah,
just someone that you met up on the internet and be like, well, I don't really know who I'm meeting up with. So to be like, it's gonna be me and my partner, these are our
mhm,
names, this is what we look like, so this is what you're gonna try and find when you get here.
mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
What does queer representation in your photography mean to you?
Oh man, we're growing as a society when it comes to queer representation in the media, but we're also falling back quite a bit. Um, we are being told that queer representation shouldn't be in front of, anyone, it should be kept in the bedroom. But and I could get into that. However, growing up without the queer representation was harmful.
Mhm,
And so I like to make sure that anyone who is queer does feel safe with me, feels like they can be properly represented by what I do,
Mhm.
and um, as well, just feels safe and comfortable in my work.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to find a a good photographer that has like a lot of gallery work that you can look at that is queer related. If it is, it's mostly all queer related,
Mhm.
which can be good but can be bad. It could be just a front facing, it was a one shoot, multiple outfits, one person type deal. Or it could be
Yeah.
we've had multiple couples, individuals, families from all over. Um, and just having that diversity, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, this brings me to like kind of the first question. What are your favorite types of shoots? Like, I know that you mentioned you love doing like a bunch of different, and you just like the unscripted types, but like, do you prefer like outdoors or weddings, things like that?
I honestly prefer concert photography.
Ooh, okay.
I love being able to be right up front. Not that I'm bragging. Um, right, right up front in the music,
Y-
wearing my
Yeah.
loops, just drowning it out, but also being there in the moment and being able to capture different artists from different
Yeah.
angles, the way the crowd sees them, but then also just angles that they probably would have never seen themselves at before. Um,
Yeah, that's sick.
and just to represent or help even small artists, up and coming artists start representing their brand.
I love that. What is your shooting process? Like, what lenses do you use? Like, what's your equipment like?
Yeah, I started on like a Canon T6
Mhm.
um back in high school, and then my mom gifted me her T6 for my graduation
Mm.
because she wasn't really using it. She was a photographer while I was growing up, and so I kind of picked it up from her. She did more of like wildlife or like lifestyle capturing when it came to like my volleyball games and my brother's football games. Um, but so I have my T6 still as a backup camera, but I just recently upgraded to a Canon um Mark R6 Mark II, I believe.
Mm.
It's not quite a mirrorless yet. That is my dream, to be able to
I
shoot
see.
consistently without any gaps in the shooting. But it's a good upgrade. And then I love using just the normal kit lens that comes with it, which is an 18 millimeter to 55 millimeter.
Mhm.
But I also vintage 18 to 70, I believe.
Mm. I
Maybe.
see. That's
Um,
awesome.
and it's kind of like an in between. But then if I'm doing some long distance shoots, that can get some really nice blur in the background.
Mhm.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite. But I do have to be really far away, and so I need to invest in some, like, walkie-talkies so I can talk to the mountain.
Walkie-talkie. Fair. Who inspires you?
That's a
It's a
really
big
hard
question.
one. Um, so it's going to sound conceited,
Say
but I
whatever you want.
do say a little bit myself. I
Okay.
think my own journey and how I got to where I am has inspired me in a way that has led me to meet others
Mhm.
through the same thing. That has opened so many doors and paths, not only with the photography stuff, but as a person. Um, and I went through cancer when I was younger, when I was 6, and then I lost my arm at 13. Um, so I am a one-armed photographer, and I really do push myself to try to use new equipment one-handed, but also with my prosthetic. So
Mhm.
it's like learning new things twice.
Mhm.
Um, well, 3 times. You gotta learn how to use it with the 2 hands from a visual point of view, and then you
Mhm.
gotta learn with one hand, and then you gotta put the prosthetic on and do it two-handed. Um, so, I think I do see myself as a little bit of an inspiration, but I also see the other people that I've met as inspiration, through just all the opportunities. Um, and then my fiance, I think, is a little bit of an inspiration for me just because she did come into my life and kind of helped me a lot with where I was at, being able to actually pursue what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Uh, to be able to pursue what I'm doing, I don't work a full time job, but that doesn't pay the rent. So, my partner graciously does a lot of that. And I just thank her a lot for that.
Yeah, so you can pursue your passion. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
She
amazing.
reminds me every day that it's okay to do that, and this is an okay situation that we have going on. But that it's what we've got going on right now, and hopefully it'll change soon. Hopefully, I do start going a little more full time and I can do more.
So I guess that kind of brings me into our next question is what would you want other disabled creatives to hear from you?
Probably that even though you're probably questioning yourself, because I know I've questioned myself quite a bit, even though other people are probably questioning you, because I've been questioned by other people quite a bit. You can figure out how to adapt. Um, it's gonna take a minute. It's not instantaneous. I would
Mhm.
love for it to be instantaneous, but to have a creative outlet is to live nowadays. I think if you don't have a creative outlet, you just don't have a good way to get things out, you know? That's my creativity is how I get my feelings out.
Yes.
Um, is how I learn to adapt to what I'm doing, to how I'm living, and how the world is working, how the world is
Mhm.
going. So, um, you know, creative energies, creative outlets, but I mean, it doesn't have to be just a creative outlet. And creative can also mean, gaming. Sometimes the
Yeah.
game can get pretty creative.
True.
Some of these
True.
fun characters in Tomodachi Life. Let me just tell you.
True. True. There is a lot of creativity in some games. Like, okay, this has nothing to do with that game, but I tried to play Fortnite build. No idea how people do that.
I'm not doing that.
I can't build. I'll
Mm-mm.
I'll play a shooter, but I can't build for shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I can kinda shoot. It depends on if I'm walking during shooting or not. Like, if I
right.
sit at the table and just look around, I can do it.
Right.
But the building is
Fair.
a no.
No. No. I'm not building a skyscraper. Mm-mm. Okay. I have an interesting one. It's more of like
Okay.
a fun question. If you could describe your photography in a soundtrack, which songs would you choose?
That's a hard one.
I know. I wrote it thinking it would be an easy one, but then I was like, wait,
It's It wouldn't be a soundtrack of, like, music, I just think that I have a bunch of memes playing in my head.
Ah,
Like, I could say just the boringest sentence ever, but something in my head is going to connect it to a meme that I saw 3 years ago, and I'm gonna reference it. No one's gonna know what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna look like a weirdo. Or I'm referencing something that's really current, and I'm referencing it too much.
Fair, fair. Me too. So
Yeah.
which meme is coming to your head right now? Which one? Oh, wait, hold on, go into the meme folder in your brain. Pull one out really quick.
Ah, it's the oh, it's the kid that gets the basketball bounced on his head.
Oh, I know.
That's one from, like, a long time ago, and I know that has nothing to do with photography.
I love it. The
Because I do take a stance where I, like, spread my legs, and I, like, kinda
mhm,
look like a starfish, but, like, standing up, and I just think of screaming in my head.
I love that. So I'll
Yes.
insert meme on the screen right now.
Yeah!
Moment of silence for the
I mean,
meme. Yeah, I think that's wonderful. That's even better. That you think of memes instead of, like, a soundtrack is even better. So if someone discovers your work for the first time after watching this interview, what is one thing that you hope that they take away from it?
I hope they see representation. I hope they're able to see at least one option of something similar to what they're wanting, or at least feel comfortable enough to bring the idea to me
Mhm,
so that we can talk about it and see if I can execute it or not.
mhm.
Um, I love any and all ideas. I think people are just so creative. Um, and I hope they feel confident in themselves, kind of looking at my work, maybe being like, oh, I think that this is something I can do. This is someone I can work with.
Mhm.
Not that people aren't confident. Um, but just like, I want someone to light up when they see my work, I guess.
Tell me anything you might want your followers, new clients, or anyone watching this to know about you. Literally be anything you want.
Um, some parts are missing, but what I lack for in limbs, I make up for in passion.
That's wonderful.
I'm putting that on my website.
That is the most beautiful speech I've ever heard in my life. I'm crying.
Are you really crying?
Yes.
um,
Ahem.
but even though I don't have an arm, I still have just as much, maybe even more passion, creativity, and drive to create art,
Yes.
to have that outlet. What's something you want to create, but you are too afraid to?
Easily dubstep. Like, honestly, writing sad songs and making sad songs, so easy. Dubstep, I'm I I'm lost. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm in the back rooms. Like, I play it back, I'm like, "Alright, yeah, these will fit together," and then I play it back, and it sounds like I just made the worst song of ever,
No,
ever in
get it.
life. Like, but eventually, I'd love to figure out how to even do that.
Oh yeah, I could see you at a rave.
Yeah, I love raves.
Yeah. DJ? DJing a rave?
Oh.
Oh. Me, one new thing you're interested in trying with your music, even if it's just once. Different from dubstep.
Okay, okay. Well, I kind of am trying a new thing right now, and it's, like, low-key kinda scary, but, like, exciting. I don't usually go real deep into feelings in my
Okay.
music. It's usually just, like, kinda vibey and on the surface, but I'm doing something right now that is, like, low-key super sad. So, that's a new thing. Yeah, everybody gonna be crying.
What is your creative process to get in the mood of putting together your songs or your music?
I think it usually is, like, never really planned except for I could talk about Spiral. So, Spiral was written many, many, many months before I dropped it. It was, like, in the vault for a long time, and I had, like, been wanting to drop it, and then I realized that I wanted to add a bridge because it just felt kinda empty, and so my producer added a bridge, sent it back, and then I had kinda given myself a time limit. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna drop this within a week, so I need to have everything done. I'm going to the studio in a week." The night before I went to the studio, I still didn't have the bridge written, so I kind of, like, just sat there, and within 5 minutes, I finished the bridge because I was like, "I have to" like, it's either I sit there and I have random inspiration, or I literally force myself at the very last second to finish a song. Like, it's never, like, a lengthy thing, like, I'll forget about it, and then it will
That's
just
my homework sometimes.
yeah, it's
Yep.
literally sometimes it's like that. Like, I'll have the majority of the song, and then the part that, like, I'm dreading the most or, like, too scared to do, it's the very
Yep.
last.
What is the hardest project that you've ever created? Could be like physically hardest, or like you put in a lot of work into it, or you put a lot of emotion into it.
Um, I think it's not even out yet. I think what I'm working on now is, like, actually so emotionally taxing because I was going from, like, such upbeat, you know, accepting songs to now, like, here's my emotions for you. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 2 of Artist versus Artist. Make sure you go follow Maddie.
Matties.Gfx over on Instagram. I've got a couple of websites, and then if you are in the Pacific Northwest area, I travel, but I also travel outside of that as well.
Mhm. And guys, I'm gonna put some of Maddie's work on the screen. So look here.